So the third presentation of today is really about getting concrete of for this update of NECP. How can I, as a city, and especially here as a city of the EUCityCalc project, engage in the NECP updating process in my country? So maybe the first question would be why? Why would I, as a city, want to get involved? Why can I? Because we understood from the previous presentation that it's an obligation for member states. But what here it's about what is the interest for cities to participate in this. I see four main reason. The first one is that we can hope that by getting more involved and in discussion with the national the ministries and the national governments on the NECPs, we can have a better coordination between the local and the national plan, because there are many things that are done at the local level. Local authorities know very well what are the needs, the resources of their territories, and it will be great that these realities are taken in account when planning at the national level the transition for energy and climate. Also to better align the objective and the means, because we can decide measures and objective at the national level, but a lot of them will be implemented by local and regional authorities. And then therefore when cities engage in this discussion in the NECPs, they can also maybe explain the barriers they face to the implementation of this, and advocate for more means, whether it is technical, financial, and I specified here also about skills in the local and regional administrations. Another reason, of course, is to share your experience, because as the city of EUCityCalc, you will have soon this very concrete and tailored transition pathways and policy scenarios that would be very great to share with the national level. Because you are in the best place to know what is realistic, what works, what does not work, and you have a great experience of planning that is worth to share with the national level. And the last but not least reason is to be more than implementers, because what we have seen in the previous presentation is that often cities today are called at the last moment to validate what is already decided at the national level. And here we wish to have more discussion that the voices of local authorities are heard earlier in the process, so that the implementation of so that cities implement policies they also had the opportunity to discuss and to shape. So that's the introduction. Now on how to get involved. If we're talking more about the theory, I would say that for a city, the first step is to have a clear idea of your demands. So a list of papers, recommendations that you wish to detail, to present to the ministries. This we will help you to shape it in the project. Um, Also to get to know where is the NECP updating process standing in your country. I will discuss this a bit for each country just afterwards. Um, and then there is two options, more a reactive mode. If there are already a lot of things happening, we have seen that is the case in some member states, but not all of them, to participate in what's happening, of course. So to feed the online consultation with your ideas and your recommendation, to participate in meetings, if any, organized by the government. So that's more a reactive mode. And the proactive mode would be to contact national associations that are represent local authorities or NGOs that are very interested often in knowing what local authorities have to say on this. And these associations will help you to bring your ideas and recommendation at the national level in the discussion that they have already with the ministries. Get in contact, of course, directly with the ministries. In some countries, it can be the best way, and organize yourself the discussion with stakeholders and ministries. In the EUCityCalc project, we will have to organize a discussion between the cities of the project, the partners of the project, and the stakeholders, and especially the national government on the different plans. So the one done at the local level and the one at the national level. So this will be a great opportunity to bring the recommendation and the ideas. So that's the theory, the how in theory we can do it. But of course, it's very it depends on the country, and this is why we will go again in a country by country analysis. I will try to be a bit quicker to have time for discussion. So in Croatia right now, the Ministry of Economy is in charge of the NECPs and has started the updating process. It's well on its way. So the ministry will organize sectoral workshops with the support of Fregea, that is also here and in the NECP platform project. So there will be 6 roundtables with local government representative on different topics that will happen. The first one is happening this week or next week, so in March. Um, so this is very good timing, I would say, to bring the elements of what the EU City Calc project and what cities in general can bring in the discussion in Croatia. It's well on its way, and it's a good moment. In Czech Republic, as explained by Jonathan before, it is a bit the process is a bit more blurry. They are still not sure of how they want to update, which process they want to update the NECP this year. From what we understood, it's high chance that municipalities and NGO are consulted in a way, but the thing is that it has not started, and the deadline is in 3 months. So maybe they will have to speed up the process, and we don't know how much of an opportunity there will be for municipalities or local authorities to feed this update with their ideas. So it's a good moment to act now, but the window of opportunity might be very tiny. Um, for France, there are a lot of things happening in France right now. I would say maybe a bit too much to be very clear of what are the good opportunities, but in France they will have an overarching law, that is the Energy and Climate Programming Law, that will be voted in September, and they will be declined in 3 more concrete measures in 3 different laws 1 year after, so in September 2024. And for this, they had open public consultation. A lot of working groups and workshop per sector and thematic are undergoing with representatives of local authorities. So sometimes directly the local authorities, and most of the time associations that represent them. And there are other parallel consultation in France. I put a few examples here. So this is quite challenging in the French context to know where is the best way to bring your ideas, and there are little room for maneuver because it is already a lot written, but it's still worth it to reach national association that represent the local government, so they can bring cities expertise in the debate and have your concrete ideas. In Italy, there was a change in the national government last year, which delayed a bit the updating process of the NECPs. We know that the NGO Hecheta 21, also in the frame of the NECP platform project, is willing to organize meeting with stakeholders and representatives of local government and to meet the ministries. So here I think there was still a lot of space to bring, and it's a very good timing to bring recommendation and ideas in the debate in the coming year, I would say. Um, in Latvia, so there will again be this National Energy and Climate Council that would be the same process, most probably for this update of the NECPs. So as explained, only some organization and not local authorities representatives have voting rights, but it's still a very important process of discussion. And in parallel, they also have implemented already last year different working groups for a modeling exercise around different thematic as energy, climate, mobility, industry, and land and agriculture. Currently, there is a bit of break in the process because they are changing the ministry responsible, but it's very well on its way in Latvia. I would say that it's a good timing to feed in because the discussion are still open, and it's apparently actual discussion. And as we say, the partner in the call, the Energy Agency of Riga is well involved in this. So this is a great way to feature the city's expertise. And last but not least, in Portugal, so for the update of the NECPs, it's the Ministry of Energy and the National Environment Agency that are in charge. They started apparently to have this updating process, and the ministry said they would organize a public consultation in the first semester of 2023. I'm still not clear whether it has started or not, but it should happen. In Portugal, the NGO Zero is also trying to organize multi-level dialogues and also to advocate for citizens' participation in the NECP process in Portugal via two different EU projects. And this is a great way to connect with them as they are organizing this discussion and to feed them with what is happening in the cities in Portugal in the project and the plans that are being decided. Um, Yes, so just before to have this last slide, I think that we can see that although there is the theory and what cities could do, there is still very different context according to each member states, and we will have together to find when is the good opportunities for the cities of EUCityCalc project to connect, to make their recommendation clear and to connect with member states, with the governments to feed their work on the update of the NECPs and later maybe on the implementation of these plans. I wanted to get a bit more inspiration to talk about the Flemish Climate Pact. That is a very interesting example of how good governance, multi-level governance can be done. I won't go in the details. You can always find the information of this on the slide, but it's very interesting because it's a process of signing a pact for the municipalities that the content was discussed between the region and the cities, and then cities are part of a process to update this pact that every 2 years in which they really committed. And it's a very great way because in this process it helps cities to access some funds that are aligned with the Flemish Climate Pact objectives. So it's a very interesting way, and it was to give us a bit inspiration to finish. So thanks a lot.